Hi everybody, it's Jeanette Vilda, and this is a project that I made for a special person. Recently, well, I guess that was back in September, we moved into a new house, and I was kind of going a little bonkers in terms of getting all my stuff in, so my husband hired me a professional organizer to help me out, and it really helped mentally, as well as really getting everything really put together so that now that I'm here in my new craft room, it's just so easy to find what I need and get around. So I wanted to say thank you. And so I asked her I gave her a couple little themes. She picked Vikings. So this is my Vikings book. I had, it's a kind of a soft cover. It's really, there's a very thin piece of chipboard in here. I kind of wanted it to be a little floppy, but not too super tall, have enough stability to hold everybody together. But I kind of wanted it to feel more like fabric. So this is actually drapes that were the previous owners left here in the house, but it really didn't match our style, so I have been using those drapes for just about everything. And this is case in point. It made a beautiful cover for this book. Now it is a lot lighter. I took my little blender. I believe I used, don't remember. Probably walnut stain, but maybe vintage, what's it called? Vintage photo. I had to look it up because I don't use it as much as walnut stain. And I went over it like crazy just to really soften down the color because it was kind of a bright white. And it's two pieces, so there's some muslin on the inside and then the fabric here on the outside. And I just put the pieces of really, like it said, really thin chipboard in between and then sewed around it. And that's the extent of how that's put together. And then the signatures are held in with ribbon. Makes it easy to take them in and out. But I really like this look of the chunky ribbon on the outside. And other than that, other than adding the ink, the cover didn't really do anything to the outside. I did have a little problem with the muslin on the inside. It's not a problem I usually have, and if you can hear in the background, my cat is desperately wanting to get into my husband's office, so she's going to be scratching, so sorry about that. And there was some staining on the muslin, and I'm not entirely certain how that happened, but in the kit, she has these extra pages that's just this burlap printable. And so I went ahead and printed that out and added it to the front and the back just to cover up that staining that was on the muslin. So not what I had wanted, but I still think it looks pretty good. So, and it adds a little bit more stability. But, everything is an opportunity, right? It's a happy accident. So her kit is immense. I mean, really immense. There are so many printable pages from the kit, so many ephemera items. There's actually a whole PDF that has a lot of history of the Vikings. I'm going to put that in quotes. If you know history, you know why. But I didn't use any of that. I mean, there was just so much. So I had to really kind of pare it down because it's just an immense kit. So you're getting quite a lot in this. And it was gorgeous. I was happy she chose Vikings. So there's a lot of pages that have information. There's stuff about the different Viking gods. Some things about runes, all kinds of stuff. So it's really, really cool. And like I said, there's a bunch of pictures. So this one folds out. I think you can use each of these as like pockets or tags, but I like them all together. And then put in as a pocket. So you have this area to write in, and then there's also a pocket. And there's a whole bunch of these little tabbed journal cards. And then a ton of these little informational cards. Again, about the different Viking gods. Now the papers in here are a combination of the printable pages from the kit, and so most of these are pages that I alcohol dyed. So just a little bit of alcohol ink in the water and then dyeing the pages. I love how it looks. So I won't go through every single page, and talk about it. This is a divider for a binder, and again some alcohol dyed paper. Let me see if I can get that better. And just a little cluster. Now there's a whole page of all of these little quotes, sayings. This one, many travels, many fortunes. And I don't know if they're well-known Viking quotes or what they are, but there's also a ton of many different sized shields. So I used quite a bit of the shields throughout. And then I have a PDF that I keep that has a whole bunch of borders. This one, you can see there's some journal lines in here. I'll have a link down below to this as well. Available on Etsy, and it's probably, I don't know, maybe 300 pages of these wonderful little borders. Some of them go around, so it's a frame, and that each one she has with lines, and then the same picture without lines. So, and then also, like if this is on the right, she also has it on the left. And so it's a really great little PDF, so I'll share that down below. I've used it quite a lot. It's really gorgeous. And then also this is some book page, front cover pages. So I always keep, when I take apart a book, I keep all those pages. And again, I always stitch my signatures together, but for this book, it's held into the book with the ribbon. So you can see it can be taken out. But by stitching them together, it ensures that they all stay together and don't fly all over the place. This is one of the tags, and just added it on here via a little pocket. And then here, oh, I forgot all about this. So my very good friends at PM Artist Studio sent me a bunch of little things in a random act of kindness box. And in it were all these little, I don't know, washers, and all hand painted and then embossed and whatnot. And I've had them, and you always wait for that perfect project where they're just going to be awesome, and they went so good in this book. So I'll have their link down below. Go check them out. Make some of the most beautiful mixed media art. And I love my little washers. I think I used the entire set of washers that they gave me. So I'm going to have to ask them for some more. And there was a few envelopes in, this is actually one of the envelopes here in the back. And there were so many envelopes, rather than use them all as envelopes, this one I just cut out. And then again, this is one of the pieces from the envelope with a couple of the little shields. This was also, when they gave me these washers, this was in the pack, and I just thought it looked perfect in this book. And another little offcut piece with one of the ephemera items, and one of those gorgeous washers. They just worked so perfect in this book. And here again is one of those great big tags like I used in the front. Here I'm just using it as a belly band. And then one of the really big shields, and just a little bit of lace with one of those sayings, and couple of the journal cards from the kit. One goes in the belly band, and then that is a nice little tuck spot. And so you can see there's another one of those from that PDF. And then here again is one of those big, like I said, you could use this as a tag. I use them mostly as pockets. And there's also a bunch of these little pockets. And just added it here with the shield. And this is one of the tags from the kit that already has, you know, a nice little cluster printed on it. So if you don't like doing your own clusters. And again, one of those tabbed pages and one of the journal cards. More like an informational card. There was just so much that you could learn just from looking through the kit. Oh, stay in the middle. And then there's also a whole bunch of these burlap. There was envelopes, tags, and pockets. And they're just plain burlap. And just used another of the images from the kit all cut down. And then it's just a little bit of something I have in my stash. A little informational card. And again, another tag that I made with a bunch of little bits. And one of those great washies. Washies. And then here, I don't know how I did it, but I had the page in and I had it too long. And I kind of was going along and I was like, oh, what have I done? Because I had already punched the holes in it. So I just folded it up, made it into a little pocket, and just used these two little bits that I cut from, I think these were just taken from one of those informational cards. I took some of the images out of those. And now I have a spot for two little tags from the kit. So happy accidents, right? Channeling Bob Ross. And this is again another of the envelopes that I just turned into a really big pocket. One of the burlap pockets. I think these little runes, I found those, and it was, I believe, on Flickr Commons, which is free to use images. And so I found those. And here we have, this is one of those really long pockets in the kit. And then a tag that I just added some of the burlap paper and some of the shields. And one of those washers. Another of that, one of those great pages from that kit, or the PDF. And again, this is just some grid paper that I alcohol inked. I'm not a big fan of coffee dyeing just because it can, you know, it's not archival safe. So here we have another pocket with, I think this is a tea bag. And then another of the washers and one of the beautiful tags in the kit. And then this is the bottom of one of the tags cut off to use someplace else. Just, I like to use all my bits. And again, some little pieces of paper and one of the journal cards. And another one. So again, one of those little pages that you can use as a tag or a pocket. Another pocket, just a little bit of fabric and the shields. And another tag with one of those great washers. Valhalla. Like I said, some of them are in these nice, wonderful frames that you can use. There's, like I said, there's just so much information in this kit. Really great. I must have put quite a lot of work into it. And here, this is another of the envelopes, again turned into a pocket. And this is actually part of an envelope. And then just added some pieces, and this is another of the informational cards, and another of those long pockets. And then here's another of those big tag things, and just a little cluster of stuff. And one of the tabbed cards and informational card. Oop. And just a little page. I think this is yet another envelope or tag or something. And I just used a little punch to add a little something to it, and a little bit of clusters, and another tag made of different little elements. And then same thing as before here, used one of these long tags to make a little pocket and a shield with a little cluster. And in there we have, this is one of the envelopes I actually kept together instead of cutting up, because I love that. I mean, it looks so 3D. I love that image. And then it's a tag. She has, like I said, a ton of these little burlap tags that are blanking, so you can use all the little pieces from the kit to enhance it. I think that one got a little cockeyed. So such beautiful images in this kit. And I love how some of these pages have this kind of dim image. You can write right over it, or, you know, of course, add a picture if you want. And then here, another piece of one of the envelopes, and another of these little pockets that are in the kit. And then we got a informational card, and then a couple of tags that I made with some of the offcuts. And of course, washy, or washer. I keep saying washy. washer. Like I said, I used every one that they had given me because they just went so perfect in here. So again, that backing. I don't know what I managed to get on there, but I think it looks okay. So that is my Viking book. I hope you like that. I hope she likes it. I hope it. She was just so helpful and so kind, and really took the time with me when I was going a little berserk. So I hope she liked it. So if you have any comments or questions, leave them down below. And thank you very much for watching. Definitely go take a look at this, at the kit. Again, I'll have the PDF of those wonderful little frames and images for journaling spots. It's a really great PDF, really useful. And please like and subscribe. And hope to see you again next time. Bye-bye.